So, of course, last Wednesday, Artemis II taking off from Florida. A lot of Tennessee Valley involvement in that launch. I mean, let's just start off with that. What did it mean to see that spacecraft just take off perfectly and send that crew of 4 around the moon?
Well, once again, we've proven that NASA, Marshall Space Flight Center, are the place we're the propulsion capital of the world. There's no doubt about it. It's a lot of pride there, and I know that our scientists and engineers deserve a lot of credit because once again, it was a flawless launch, and we're excited for what they've done for this country.
Yeah, and of course, that unfortunately that does come with the kind of proposed skinny budget that the White House did put out on this past Friday that included some cuts to NASA, including some that would impact Marshall Space Flight Center. Of course, that's just a proposed budget, nothing final yet. But of course, representing the area, I guess, can you talk a little bit about your thoughts on that proposed budget? What you're hoping to maybe work with the White House to maybe keep here in the Tennessee Valley.
Well, as I've seen more than once in my 3 years in Congress, this is the starting point. Congress has the constitutional authority to do these budgets, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We've got a proven commodity here with SLS. We know that it's a proven rocket. We know what it can do. You look at Orion, we have another proven commodity there. So this process is just beginning, and I can promise you we're going to advocate for those dollars to continue to fund this just as we've done in years past.
And of course, you mentioned SLS that actually did see a bit of an increase in funding when it comes to this proposed budget, but while also kind of at the cost of some of the other programs, will you be fighting for those programs that take place at Marshall to stay at Marshall and to keep that progress going there forward?
Absolutely. You look at the big, beautiful bill, it included 2 additional flights of SLS, and I think that right there was a huge accomplishment that the entire Alabama delegation participated in. But again, you look at what we do here at Redstone. It's nothing new. Marshall Space Flight Center, they're cutting edge, and they're exactly where they need to be. But you look at it, this is not just about today. We want to be sure that the space program is secure for generations to come.
All right. I want to move over to the Department of Homeland Security real quick. That shutdown has been going on, I think, for just about over a month now at this point. Of course, that seems to be basically a partisan issue. Everyone has their side on that. I guess, as we see basically this fight continue, I guess, what's your thoughts now as we're basically entering a pretty extensive period of this shutdown?
Well, it's pretty frustrating, especially since the House of Representatives has voted 4 times to fully fund Homeland Security. You look at that funding that it fully funded Customs and Border Patrol, it fully funded ICE, and I think the people of the 5th Congressional District, that's exactly what they want. They want a safe America. That's our responsibility, and so what we've done is on 4 occasions we voted to fully fund Homeland Security, and I stand behind that vote.
All right. And of course, as this kind of drags on, what are you kind of hoping to see maybe from your opponents from across the aisle to maybe reach some kind of agreement to see Department of Homeland Security be fully funded once again?
Well, the folks on the other side, they've got to work through this. And, of course, they have a little different threshold where they've got to have 60 votes. But, again, I commend both sides of the aisle in the House because we passed it with bipartisan support. Protecting America, that's exactly what we ought to do. The last thing that we want to do is to jeopardize that southern border by not funding Customs and Border Patrol. I think the American people overwhelmingly want to be sure that that border is closed down, and that's exactly what the bill that we passed, that's exactly what it does. So I think it's pretty clear. I think the Senate should move forward with it. I don't think that we ought to be chopping it up. I think what we ought to do is move forward with fully funding the Homeland Security bill as it was negotiated bipartisan and had the support from day one, and then all of a sudden they backed out.
And now, in your opinion, this is, of course, just basically an estimate or a guess, really. How much longer do you think this shutdown is going to last? Because it seems like both sides are basically stuck on their feet.
Well, this is the thing is I'm willing to go back to D.C. today if that's what it takes to get this done. But again, the House has done its work. I'm ready for the Senate to go in there and fully fund this. They're going to have more opportunities. You look at, you had 4 or 5 people on the floor of the Senate that did a unanimous consent, and I'm just telling you right now, it's unacceptable. We cannot have zero funding for Customs and Border Patrol, zero funding for ICE. That's not what the 750,000 people from the 5th District sent me to do. They want to be sure that we protect America. I believe that we've got a pretty solid bill that we sent to the Senate. I'm hoping they'll act sooner rather than later. But again, if we need to go back to D.C., I'm ready to go immediately, and I think that we can work through it. I commend the Speaker of the House and his communication communications, stood firm in what we did. Hard work, but we had both sides of the aisle working on this, and so I'm trusting that the Senate will get this worked out.
All right, that's all the questions I have. We'll wrap it up right there.
Thank you.
All right.